Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back to DMs After Dark.
Hi, Troy. Thank
Hey,
you for the
Troy.
gift sub, homie.
Oh, wow. Hi.
Troy's just gonna be offline but watching us in the bathtub.
Random gift
That's
sub
fine.
went
Yeah,
to
Troy can't be here, which is understandable because he's back to work, which is a great thing, but I pretty much figured he'd just be shot because he had heart surgery.
6
Like
weeks
the
ago.
other Frank. Hey.
Yeah, I know the real reason Troy's not here, and it's because he can't face me after what he did in Esther last night. Face me!
So, Sarah, you have some announcements.
Yeah, so I did a little bit of updating on the Twitch backend. If you guys notice, that little button that used to say channel points now says DM bucks because we're able to make it unique. We added a couple things. One that is just for a single point, just say hi. If you're just lurking, you just want to pop in, say hi. 1 point. If you have 69 points and want to announce it, there's a 69 button. That's it. It's just funny. And I did up the price of rerolls and rerolls all around.
It's your fault we're all gonna die, Sarah.
I'm biting
It's your
the bullet.
capitalistic point greed that will kill us all.
I'm trying to balance
Point
the amount
inflation.
of rerolls we get, and there's a lot that have been coming in. Listen, I'm the one biting the bullet because I'm changing it before my fucking initiation, okay? I'm screwing myself. Hot diggity damn.
Yeah, I just got Troy's text. I picture Troy now in a bubble bath with a cigar like Tony Montoya.
Troy almost killed himself in the last bubble bath he took, so he needs
He's
to be
watching and
careful.
smoking a cigar, being like, look at them, man. Look at them playing that game, man. Sad boy, the bad guy, man. Jess, I sent you something.
Yeah, I responded.
Oh, also, is your computer plugged in?
No.
Oh my god!
Please do that. And also, the answer to your thing is you will know when it comes.
Okay.
We'll just take a moment for those of us who are not prepared to get their materials for class.
Man.
I have my character sheet and my microphone and stuff set up. You guys can keep going. I'll be back.
That was it for my announcements.
I'm
I
sending
just
something to you as well, Sarah,
shit.
that you will need in a minute.
Okay. Christian's being all fucking cryptic on us.
It is something that you'll just automatically say because it's a traditional thing that happened to be the first thing that time it's ever said when we do this later on tonight.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, vendors, we appreciate you coming in when you
Call
can.
and response things. All right, cool. All right, so that's enough of everything. Thank you, Fenris. I was happy with the taking. I made some changes from the way it usually is written because there was some stuff that I don't think we would have dealt well with. So we skipped it and changed it.
I'm glad that we did.
Yeah, there's no read for that. I'm here to have fun.
Yeah.
So,
one of these days, guys, my laptop will just last the entire stream we have.
Your laptop has no staying power.
if it's plugged in,
Just
it'll
like
last the
you.
entire stream all the way.
Is that when you get a new laptop?
No, sometimes our streams aren't like 3 or 4 hours long. I think
True,
it can
true.
last like 2.5.
Who wants to recap stuff?
Oh man, I'm gonna get the people involved here mixed up. People went missing last session. We're all hanging out, doing our things, living our lives, and some folks went missing. And they were Fedor, Deerston, Izrala, and
Deladra.
Deladra. Yes, Deladra.
Good
So
job.
basically, Fedor and Deladra ran off to one of Gordon Gar's former fuck shacks in the mountains.
She seems to have a
Without
lot
telling
of them,
anyone.
doesn't he? Yeah.
And Deladra is married to one of the top weapon thanes who was real mad and wanted to go off on a murdering rampage. And Gordon Gar was like, the teenagers will be our problem solvers. So we were
Yeah,
summoned
see,
to
his
the Great
wants to
Hall
Yeah.
to go find Deladra and Fedor before this turned into some sort of murder fest. Took very little investigative work because Fedor is not that smart to find out where they went. So we started following them. But Deerston and Izrala were also missing. and they were missing because Deerston tried to be a good person and stop his idiot cousin Fedor from doing idiot cousin Fedor things. And Azrala tried to go and save Deerston. And they kind of en route to the fuck shack up the slopes. Various parties were ambushed by Telmori. Caught trespassing by Telmori. Details are a bit fuzzy, but the Telmori didn't like them traipsing around on the mountain slopes in their woods. So we found Deerston, very injured and unconscious, and signs of a struggle. Arisa's quick thinking and healing skills get Deerston back to consciousness, but some Telmori sort of came up and gave Rue the heads up that they have some of their people. So we had to go and be ambassadors, the Haraborn Telmori ambassadors that we are, and find a way to get them back, which ended up being a peaceful way, thankfully, sort of saying, hey, you kind of owe us one for that time we killed 2 bears to you. And the alpha takes teeth.
Takes teeth, yep.
Yes. The alpha takes teeth. Was a little bit relieved because you can see that he did not want to have us fight over this, but also could not look weak in front of his peoples. So this was the out he was looking for. And he did end up turning our people back over to us. Some of the Telmori warriors and hunters were a little bit miffed about that because that was like their prizes for being cool, I guess.
Yeah. Similar to what because it's basically like they were in the same position that you guys were in when you captured the cattle raiders, right? So it was kind of like, hey, yeah, look what we did. And so
looking for a bit more reward or at least action than they got out of this.
Yeah, and Takes Teeth was put in a position where he couldn't necessarily be like, you did a bad thing.
Because they didn't. These people were trespassing in their territory.
But he also was in a position where he's like, I don't want to have a lot of problems with the Haraborn. Not that the Telmori probably couldn't just wipe them out if they wanted to, but he doesn't want to do that. So,
yeah. So to show that he is a fair and just leader and honors his debts, he released our people back to us with the warning that, we won't have future problems as long as the Haraborn stay in the Vale and off the mountains. You stay on your side and we'll stay on ours, sort of thing. We assured them that they would, and everybody went home to face various musics.
Yeah. And that's where we'll pick it up.
Fedor and Deladra get everybody in trouble. They need to go to horny jail.
They get the bonk and they go to horny jail.
It's their fucking brain.
And so the fallout is basically this. We're not going to role play it, but Karenstar and Deladra divorce. Theirs was a love match. Theirs was Karenstar being the person who initiates that. Theirs was a love match, so there's no property that exchanged hands. So there was no worry about that, and they had no kids. Deladra goes back to her stead. However, Deladra and Fedor still have to answer to Morganeth because marriage be sacred, especially to Arnalda. So they are publicly shamed. Deladra is forbidden for participating in any of the fertility rituals for a year or remarrying. And both Deladra and Fedor, this is my favorite thing, are whacked with one of the best RuneQuest spells, Wither Loins, which is basically horny jail, which means like, that ain't working.
You have fucked irresponsibly. You've lost your fucking privileges.
You've lost your fucking privileges until Morganeth gives them back.
It's called Withered Loins.
Wither Loin, yep.
That sounds so much worse than it doesn't work.
It don't work.
Impotency.
It don't work.
The spell.
Impotency, the spell, yeah. Fedor, also word gets out the fact that he was a little bitch.
Used Deladra as a human shield at the first sign of trouble.
The women as a human shield. And so he loses a lot of the standing that he had amongst the women folk of the tribe. And he becomes somewhat of an object of ridicule and goes to live at home. Hey, Sharky. Hey, Sharky, did you get your shirt? Let me know, because I saw that it was out for delivery today. Conversely, Dareston, word gets around that Dareston stood up to some Tamori and like took an ass beating for it, and people are pretty like impressed with him. So Dareston's fortunes rise.
Gets to walk a little taller.
He gets to walk a little taller.
He's the actual we might be able to fix him of this campaign.
Yes. Yeah. And you know what? Like I said, I changed some things. I'm going to have two asides. One is that I changed some things with the way the taking is written, because I just felt that the choices they gave you were just kind of all bad. So I changed them. And also, I think they did bad for Dareston, even though I know the reasons why. I felt that, just because something happens mythically doesn't mean we all have to follow that path. And so, he got fixed a little bit.
It's one of the great things about RPGs. You can customize it for your players.
Change what you want. The Fedor thing reminded me of a Facebook reel I saw, which was it looked like it was like a South American country like Mexico or someplace like that, where they do the drive-by purse snatchings, where they have like two guys on a motorcycle and they zip by and like grab the woman's purse. And so there was a couple walking down the street, and they drive by and they grab her purse, and she's walking with a guy, and the guy just like runs, her boyfriend just books it away from the robbers, and everybody just stands there for a couple seconds like awkwardly, and the robbers just give her purse back and run and drive away because they felt so bad. It's hysterical.
There's a similar post I saw.
They're like,
either on
girl, keep your money, get you a new man.
It was either TikTok or Instagram, where a guy and his girlfriend are going through a haunted house, and a scare actor jumps out from the side, and the guy pushes his girlfriend into the scare actor and turns and runs. And the girlfriend and the scare actor stare at each other for a minute, and the scare actor offers her prop knife, and they go chasing after him together.
That's amazing.
I think it was a prop chainsaw.
Yeah,
I thought it was an axe. Why do we all think it was something different?
Well,
maybe it was multiple different ones.
Do you know, like, those things like never get to me?
An omni weapon. He offers her an omni weapon.
I am the opposite, Christian.
I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. You're gonna shake a knife at me, whatever. I know you're an actor. Get the fuck out of here. You're like a teenager. Like, none of that stuff ever gets to me, unless it's like it has to be something you don't see coming at you. That's what gets me. Like jump scares.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I guess that's kind of what you meant. Because I was going to say, people in high school used to hide behind corners and walls and like jump out at me.
Oh yeah, jump scares will get anyone because you're not expecting it. It's a fight or flight response. But like when you go on like the haunted like hay rides or whatever, like no, actually everyone, like it's a sign. Not being affected by a jump scare is actually a sign of being a psychopath, because they have dulled immune systems. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, danger response time. That makes sense.
That'll make it very funny for all of us going to see the Five Nights at Freddy's movie at the end of the month.
Yeah, we're all
fight, flight, or freeze.
Fight, flight, or freeze. All right. So that being said, a couple of weeks pass since the incident. It gets deeper into the cold, dark season. And is there anything anyone wants to do over that period of a couple of weeks?
Couple of weeks.
Everybody's kind of hunkering down, I guess. I'm going to keep hunting as weather permits, setting snares and stuff. You know, food's going to be real hard this winter, so catch rabbits whenever I can.
Yeah, your snare lines are doing really well for rabbits, I'll say.
Not the best. As food goes, rabbits leave much to be desired in some ways, but better than nothing.
You know? Right.
I probably spend some time with Rue over the winter. Nothing. Just like I just spend some time with Rue. Yeah, I just spend some time with Rue over the winter.
Okay. Like out trapping, or
do you come find me? Do you come to my house?
Yeah, I'll probably
dinner?
I'll probably come to his house for like dinners and stuff. I don't go out hunting with him. No.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, Aurisa continues to work in the loom house for the blankets that she's making her friends.
Sure. I love that.
Deskar is going to
forages for rocks. I was going to say, so Troy just said that. Troy, the other thing I will say, you're not here, but Kolat's Holy Day, Kolat being the Orlanthe spirit of the winds, who you've part of his spirit cult now, because he's a spirit, he's not technically a god, but you're a shaman of him. You spend some time learning more about Kolat on some spirit questy stuff during that time frame. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, Deskar, go ahead.
And Deskar is going to probably go up to Red Rock to see how Esrala and Dareston are doing over this time.
Yeah, Dareston's doing really good, and Israela's like always happy to see you. So she's good. They're both good. They've been healed up of any they had some frostbite and stuff from being out in the cold all night. But obviously Morganeth and Liv come in handy, and Grandma Whitebear, Aurisa's grandma, come in handy with that healing magic and make that stuff go away right away. So yeah, they're good. Morganeth didn't have as much magic because she needed some rune points to cast Witherloin on the two malcontents. But yeah.
What is Aurisa's grandmother's name?
Grandma Whitebirch. She's just called Grandma. That's okay. She has a real name too, but she's just like the oldest person in the vale, and that's where she's from. So that's just
the
what
old
lady
of the stead. So she's
an old Whitebirch. She's an old granny. Yeah.
You just said it really fast, so I heard Grandma Wiper, and I was like, I don't know who this person is.
Grandma Wiper, Grandma Swiper. Everybody's got to be like, swiper, no swiping.
Have I heard this person before? Whitebirch. Yes, that's right.
Grandma Whitebirch. Yeah. I do talk fast. I apologize. So, with that being said, then, that time passes. Fertility Week of Dark Season on Wild Day, Rue, that is your special day. There is a holy day for Shalana Arroy. And there's, because it's winter, they kind of make it into more of a festival than it needs to be because people need to get out of the house and do some stuff. But what it celebrates is Shalana Arroy and a troll goddess, Jola Umbar, the Dark Soulless. That's her name. She's a troll goddess. Her and Shalana Arroy healed Urgandar, the god of Not, and they turned him into Rastandar, the god of Being. Yeah, Jola Umbar. Thank you, Kung Fu Fenris. I can speak imaginary fantasy words. So that's what it celebrates. It's a day of mercy, and it's a lot of stuff is included in there. They celebrate Orlanth and Arnalda as life bringers. There's some dancing. There's some feasting. A traditional offering is to leave like a husk of like a seed pod or of one of the crops on Shalana Arroy's altar that day because she'll bring it back to life eventually. So that's the festival.
And isn't the main altar at Aurisa's house?
Yes. It's a shrine, really. It's not really. Yeah. Yes, it is. So lots of people pass through your house that day.
She being the very good hostess.
Yeah, well, actually, Gordangar comes through with some food and stuff, so you don't have to pay for it. Like your stead doesn't have to handle it. He comes through with food and stuff like that. So there's a feast. There's a lot of people there. Actually, during the eating, Gordangar kind of, I'm going to say tings on his glass, but he doesn't. Whatever the Hortling version of ting 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 on your glass is, Gordangar does that. And gets everyone to listen.
Just stands up and spikes a mug at the floor.
I was going to say bangs on table, maybe.
Yeah, you know what? Bangs on the table. That's good. Yeah. And everyone kind of shuts up. And actually, Keladon's like, shut up. He wants to say something. And then everyone kind of dies down. And he goes, the wintertime always makes me think of our ancestor Hjort and his wife, the Karn, and their time in the darkness, because we are in the depths of darkness season right now. A darkness maybe not as bad as what Hjort and Ikarn suffered, but one nonetheless. Our ancestors have gone through a lot of dark times. As you know, they had to leave our own lands to flee the wrath of dragons. But through it all, they stayed together. And I want to pledge to you all that no matter what comes in the darkness, or whatever comes after the darkness, the Harborn will meet it all together as kin, with the blessings of the gods. And everyone's like, pounds on tables, beats weapons on shields, drinks, and is happy. Actually, you know what? Ken, roll to see how he did on his R8 roll. We'll see if they do that.
We'll see. Everybody's just kind of like,
roll. Some people might be like, yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, Peepaw.
They're like, shut up, Dad. They do the version of like, all right, Grandma, let's get you to bed.
33.
Okay, yeah, everyone's like, "Arr!" Okay. And then merriment and feasting continues after that. Gordogar actually comes over to you after that, Rue. What are you doing?
Depends how close to sunset it is.
That was said mid-afternoon.
Okay.
This is not like people kind of like feast and get home because it gets cold early and dark early, so it's not like an all-night sort of thing.
It's Sunday dinner. We're having dinner at 1. Okay. I mean, Rue's probably just sitting down enjoying the feast with his cluster of friends.
So kind of like gives you that.
He will take a last drink from his mug and set it down and follow Gortongar.
Oh, Gordogar has his mug, by the way. He's like, you don't have to finish your mug. But if you did, actually, if you did, that's funny. So we're going to leave that you did. He's like, he walked outside in the snow and he's like, you didn't have to, what? Do you want some of mine?
No, I'm fine. There's plenty back inside. Is something wrong?
No, I wanted to ask you how I did.
I certainly think it's lifted some spirits.
It was a good idea. I thank you for it.
It was nothing. You did all the work.
No. You have the makings of a good leader one day. And kind of like taps you on the shoulder and goes back inside.
Oh God, it's so much pressure. We're just gonna stand out there for a few minutes and look at the snow.
I know it is. It's so
like,
wonderful
no.
when you know your players and you know how to torture them.
Oh God, don't make everyone look at me.
And so everybody eats through the remainder of the afternoon. Is there anything anyone else wants to do while they're there? Or say? Or anything?
I'm just gonna ask Bryn if she wants to come out into the woods again tonight.
Oh, I mean, yes, always. She goes to Wild Day every chance she can. Every time she's invited, she will go.
Wear lots of layers.
I will. I'll be prepared.
Cool.
I'll handle that first. Descar, do you have anything you want to do?
I don't believe so. I don't think there's anything.
Sure. You have a nice day. Israela kind of cuddles up next to you. It's there's some big fire roaring in here and it's very cozy. And, you get to have a nice walk home with her and like she cuddles up with you and, probably too cold to sneak off somewhere like you were doing in the summertime, but still nice and, nice and cozy for cuddling and walking in a winter wonderland.
Yep.
All right, Bryn and Rue. Take it away, Rue. What happens?
So Rue's been inviting Bryn to Wild Day now and then, sort of trying to introduce her to some of the other Telmori who come down and hang out, but also introduce her to himself in other ways. And over the weeks and months, Wolf Rue has gotten more comfortable with her presence, sort of thing. So he actually hangs out with her in the woods a bit. Sometimes he'll even let her like touch his muzzle or something. And it's freezing freaking cold, so she can't stay out as long as she could, like in the fall or anything. But he just likes to see her as the other him, and remember that.
So give me a trying to think what I would have you roll here.
Is this me or this Rue?
Rue. I'm trying to think of.
Bryn, make a handle animal check.
Is it like a man versus beast roll?
Basically, I'm thinking man versus beast. Yeah, I am.
He does have a beast percentage, right?
You do.
It's high.
You do. Roll your man versus beast.
How do you roll the I'm rolling under the high one, or
So roll your. What is your man rune?
20.
Okay. So you know what? We'll roll that against your higher one. So let me just get to the thing here. Hold on a minute.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, roll a check. Just roll a beast check. Or I'm sorry, roll a man check rather. Roll a man roll. I'm sorry.
No. Fail.
Okay. You don't remember in the morning what you did last night.
But I don't wake up covered in blood, right? Or I
No.
probably killed something.
No.
But
Nope, you're good.
No.
you know what? Waking up on wild days is getting less and less comfortable. This is a problem. Oh my god, it's fucking cold.
Yeah.
This is a
you need to
fucking
start
problem.
hiding. You need to start hiding some better clothes.
Because you're too skinny.
It does.
maybe also just like maybe
Doesn't
some
matter
like,
how good the clothes are. He still has to sprint to them.
yeah, maybe some like maybe you should set up some little fire kits out there too.
It's fucking cold, man.
Yeah, Bryn will try and stay out there as long as she can and just
Sure.
like happy to see
So,
and like witness as much as she can.
Rue shifts and her and Syl meet a strange wolf whose shadow seems to kind of move with a mind of its own.
Walks in the
And
dark
another
side.
very,
in the
very,
dark.
very dark wolf. And they kind of run off together. And another wolf without a shadow at
Mhm.
all, and their companion.
Yeah.
And so there's like just 6 of them that hang out usually.
Oh,
So
shit.
they run off. And you hear the howling and stuff around you, and it's actually really nice, especially on a winter night, because it's like I love personally the sound of
The way the
how-
sound travels through
Yeah.
bare trees, like
Yep,
shit,
I
man.
love that. Like I've heard that with coyotes around me, like hunting in like my house, like in the wintertime. And I actually like the sound. So yeah, you hear that, and eventually though your fingers and your toes get numb and you can't feel your ears and stuff, and you just have to go home. But it's a nice night.
Yeah.
It's a clear night.
In the morning, there's another dead thing for you on the doorstep.
Yeah, you find it dead. I don't know. You get to pick, Amber. You roll. You failed your man room.
roll.
I'll give you a good beast run that you caught something. So
A
you get to pick
badger.
what it is. Wow.
Got me a
Big night.
badger.
Is it a friendly European badger who looks like he's going to invite you in for tea, or is it like an American meth addict badger? Because there's a huge difference between
American
the
meth addict badger.
Because
You know what?
If you look at a European badger and an American badger, European badgers look like these pleasant little dudes
yeah.
who are going to like wear vests and be nice.
They look
to you.
like little
American
gents. Their
badgers
stripes
look
are very
they're
straight
fucked
and-
up. Yeah, they look like they're going to come in and kill you and like eat your children. Yeah.
Because they are.
I'm
They
gonna
are,
roll
yeah.
for it. Odds it's the meth badger.
Okay.
It is a cute little European badger.
Oh, okay.
Nice. I was like, why would
the
you
poor guy's going to go visit his rabbit friends and you killed him. All right.
They were going to have tea.
They're going to have tea. There shall be no more wind in the willows, Mr. Badger.
Oh God.
Okay.
Your family's doing well. Treats every week.
Never cooked badger before. Okay.
Probably really, really
I imagine that'd be very gamey.
oily.
The
Yeah,
fur
I
is
imagine
nice
that.
though.
That's true.
Chat
The fur will be
says
nice.
European badgers are just as angry. They just have a better image.
Yeah, but they look nicer. That's the thing.
They do. They look. There used
Yeah.
to be like an animation with like a badger that I can't remember.
Yeah, I know. I remember.
Badger.
No, not
Badger,
that one. I'm talking about.
No. There was a show. There was a show.
It's
with
not
them
like
too, I remember.
Renwall. It's like something else.
Wow. Foresters in Sweden have chips on their boots to make the badgers think they hit bone when they bite. Wow. That's crazy.
They have special badger armor. Oh my God.
That's insane.
Badger.
That implies that enough foresters have been bit by badgers unprovoked that was something they had to address.
Somehow this tracks.
Oh God, I love this game. Okay. Meanwhile, Aurisa,
Hi.
think of this as like the biggest Thanksgiving that you can imagine, or just any big feast for our European listeners because they don't celebrate American Thanksgiving. But basically, like, if you host, it sucks because everybody comes and eats your food and then fucks off and you have to clean up. That's
yeah.
that, but with like 300 people
And
coming to the
Aurisa
place.
is doing what I do when I host holidays, which is she doesn't sit down. She's running around everywhere, making sure everyone is fed, everyone has a drink, everyone is comfortable. She barely eats. She is running around taking care of as many pieces of people as possible because she is stressed.
Yeah. So that is over now. Fortunately, though, like Gordengar and Jorna actually is really helpful with stuff like this. Like she makes sure that she helps and she organizes like other people to help you. So it's not like this is just fall on your family to do this just because you have the shrine. They do a good job of making sure that do a good job of making sure that that doesn't happen to you guys. But still, even after everybody leaves, there's still a lot of cleaning to do, especially in the shrine. You know, people have like walked in and out. You got to sweep it out and clean it and everything. And you just get that done. And your grandma's like standing there with like smiling at you.
How are you doing, Grandma, after all of that?
Fine. The more important question here is, how are you?
Tired. But that's okay. It was
Too
very
tired,
nice.
I hope. Because tonight's the night.
Oh. I feel a lot more awake all of a sudden.
Slap. Just mainlining tea.
Well, I've prepared a bath for you. Go wash up and put on what's waiting for you.
Okay. Thank you.
What's waiting for you is a bath of warm water with like some very aromatic like petals and stuff in it. And yeah, you get in and it just feels like amazing. You don't want to get out. And there's a very nice white linen like robe and like a head shawl to wear. We're going to go very heavy with the nun thing.
I was going to say she's a little nun.
We are going to invent Catholicism all over again tonight, Sarah, just like we always do when we do these things.
I know, it's such a dangerous combo with me and Christian
The two
and
Catholic school kids are like
Catholic school survivors.
Survivors. I love it.
Survivors is the right term for it.
I escaped after 10 years of it.
Yeah, same. Yeah, about the same, actually. Yeah, it was 7th grade. So, yeah.
You did a dime in Catholic school.
It was 1 through 10 for me, yeah.
Wow, 10. I got out at 7. But there was like some preschool in there too, so it kind of,
Yeah, no,
So you
mine
wash
started
up.
at 1st grade. Anyway.
And you come into the shrine, and there are candles lit around it, and it feels really nice and warm. But you can't quite tell where the warmth is coming from. Almost as if perhaps it's a magical warmth. And Grandma's there, and she has a little cup of nice steaming tea for you. And there's like a nice, like almost like a bedroll mat laid out in front of the statue of the goddess. The statue is like a carved wooden statue of her. And there's the offerings sitting on her little, it's like on a little stone, and there are offerings set on it at her feet. But right in front of that is basically like a mat. And Grandma says, well, all you need to do is drink the tea and relax and keep vigil.
Okay.
And the rest will take care of itself.
All right. Thank you, Grandma.
Good night, dear. I'll see you in the morning.
Good night.
Don't be afraid. Dun, dun, dun. And she leaves.
All right. She'll take the tea and
It's
sit down.
really good tea.
Hell
It's
yeah.
got this like a little bit of a spice to it, but there's a sweetness too. And it is delicious. You don't know what's in it, but it is good.
Excellent.
It
Excellent.
is good. Yeah, it is good. And you just sit there and you relax. There's a little bit of a minty hint. Yeah, I saw the comment too. And now I saw Kent's.
For anyone who's played Stardew Valley, it's like that scene when you're with the wizard and you drink the special forest juice to translate the Junimos. Thank you, Jess. That's what Arisa's
I'm like, yes.
going into right now. It's the special forest juice.
Forced.
So you drink the tea. Do you try to stay up, or you just gonna like zonk out?
No, she tries.
Okay. What do you do?
Jumping jacks.
She tries counting things, but like she has to look for.
It's the opposite of what would keep me awake.
I
but
was
okay.
like, it's like counting sheep.
No, like a seek and find.
Okay, gotcha.
Like,
Gotcha.
okay, how many candles are in here?
Sure. All right.
How many animals can I see from the outside of the shrine? Like, think she has to basically
Engage
like
our mind too. Yeah.
yeah, like grounding techniques.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it's like 3 things I can see, 1 thing I can touch, 4 things I can hear, like those sorts of things.
Sort of, yeah.
Okay.
My therapist would be
Counting
so proud of
badgers.
me right now.
Yeah. So you do, and then you stay awake. Eventually you run out of stuff to like identify, right? But you're trying. But man, that tea was good, and it's so nice and warm in here. And you're tired because it was a long, long day, and your eyes just get so heavy. And eventually you just slip off to sleep. And you feel like you're floating for a while. And when you wake up, you have almost a flashback to your time in the riddle.
Yeah.
When you were in the spike, you were there as Ronaldo. And you remember a detail that eluded you until now. And I had told you that, like, there are memories of that time that you didn't remember when you first came out of that. Every once in a while you encounter someone and you're like, oh, I remember this part of when I was in there. I had forgotten that detail. It's like remembering something in a dream. You remember when you were there was a period of time where you were working as Ronaldo, but also as yourself. You were working in the infirmary with young soldiers who had been injured in the war. And then we remember there was a lady there. And she always smiled on you. She was a beautiful white lady. And you had forgotten that detail up until now. But now you find yourself walking the halls of that palace again. But it's very, very different because you yourself are different. You're not Ernalda. You're a white lady. You're the white lady. But the palace itself is so different too. It's not the bright, shining, gold, gorgeous place it was the last time you were there. It's cracked and it's dark, and you hear the sounds of fighting in the distance and screams and dying. And you know in your heart and your soul there's a thickness in your stomach, a sickness. The world is falling apart. And you're looking for someone.
Do I know who I'm looking for?
Wow, Amber. Wow.
It's true.
It is true. It is
Where's
true.
the lie?
It's yeah. Basically the comment Amber says is you ain't thick anymore. Or now this thick Shalana Roy is not. Orlanth has a sickness for the thickness. Okay, so thick thighs save lives. Thick thighs rebirth the world too. Put that in the next RuneQuest book, Jeff Richard. All right.
Quote at the beginning.
He's gonna name you too. Quote.
That'd
from
be so
Christopher.
funny if the Earth Goddesses book's like first page where the dedication is just thick thighs save
Thick
lives.
thighs.
They need to pay us for this. This is gold.
Arnalda could crush a watermelon with just her thighs.
Literally.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Orlanth is that watermelon. Okay, so
Babaster Gore, it's just a human head. Just a man's skull.
oh God. Some of them die willingly though, I'm sure. So anyway, you're not the woman you were, you're a different woman. You carry yourself different. You feel ancient. Much more ancient than you did when you were Ronaldo. And you know in your heart, you're worried because you've always held yourself neutral, especially in these little wars that these gods have, that nothing ever came of them. But now all of a sudden things are coming of them because there's something new in the world. It's called death. And there's something new in the world. It's called chaos. and it threatens to end everything. And right now you're looking for someone, desperately running through these cracked hallways, these destroyed rooms and palaces. You're looking for your own son, Arwen. And you can't find him. And you hear sounds of combat in the distance. And you hear sobbing. What do you do?
She goes towards it.
You run into a courtyard following this sobbing. And you find two things. First is you find your son. And he's kneeling on the ground. He's the one who's sobbing. Arwen is golden skinned, golden haired. He wears a white toga. There's nothing, not a spot on this boy. He's gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful Arwen. Everybody loves him because he's kind like his mother. Nobody knows who his father is, but everybody loves him. But he's kneeling, and lying on the ground in front of him is another figure. It's a god. You don't recognize the god. It must be a god, maybe perhaps that's lost to time. But Arwen is he's pumping his chest, and he's got blood all over his hands. Usually Arwen is spotless, but he's stained with blood now because there's this gash in the chest of this god, and he's wheezing. And Arwen is crying because he's trying to save him. What do you do?
She will. So I kneel down next to my boy, and I don't touch him yet, but I put a hand over the man and look at my son and say, "Can I help, dear?"
He's like, I can't, Mother, I can't. He's not responding.
Okay.
And you look at the man, and he's just that agonal breathing, and his eyes are just going back and forth between you and Arwen. And his hand reaches out and he just grabs you on your arm.
Yeah, she lets him.
And he's just looking at you.
Yeah, I want to try and heal
and
him.
You see fear in his eyes.
Can I try and heal him?
You have more healing magic than you've ever felt in your life. And you flows into this man and nothing happens.
Is there something that could be used to staunch his wounds, to triage?
So I'm not going to have you make any checks here. Looking at his wounds, there's nothing you can do to make him better. He's at the end of his life. You can perhaps comfort him a little bit, but that's really all you're going to be able to do.
Yeah. She'll let him, grab her arm, and she'll reach down and just gently stroke his hair like she would her little boy. Say, "It's okay.
That calms him somewhat.
It hurts now, but it's okay."
He holds your hand, and the fear that you see in his eyes, although it remains there, it subsides somewhat, and you see a tremendous gratitude that he didn't have to go through this very, very new thing called death alone. Arwen retreats away, and he cries in the corner. And over the next couple of minutes, the breaths come slower and slower and slower, until at last you don't hear them anymore. And he's passed away.
Yeah, I stay with him for a minute longer. And then once I know he's gone, I get up and I go back over to Arwen and just
He's
pull
weeping,
him into a hug.
And he's like, "I couldn't save him, Mother. Why didn't it work? Why couldn't we save him? Why can't we stop this?"
I don't know. This is something brand new. We'll try and find out what's going on.
You hear footsteps and shouting coming towards you. A figure runs in to the room. He's panting. He's wounded too. bleeding slightly, not as bad as this man, but it's wild hair, wild eyes, long beard. It's Flesh Man. Not a god, but a human. And he's staring at you, and he's just muttering to himself, Humak killed him, Humak killed him, Humak killed him, Humak. A figure rushes up behind him before he has a chance to say anything. This figure's forms, hard to tell, it's just shifting form. Sometimes it looks like a man, sometimes it looks like a woman, sometimes light skin, sometimes dark, sometimes bright red or yellow hair, sometimes the hair is black. What remains the same is what's in its hand. And when you look at it, again, you get that flashback to that moment you were Ronaldo in these very same halls, and the first time you ever saw Orlando pull death out. And that sickness in your stomach, that feeling that you were going to throw up, you have it again as he's holding it. It's diminished in this god's hands, but it's death. He's got it in his hands.
Art check stream. I'm getting an error message on. Oh,
no,
we might be back.
Looks like we're okay.
Yep, we were offline for a second. Sorry.
Weird. That happened to Kent too.
Yeah, that's weird because I'm seeing things go
Gerbo
out
says
okay.
signal lost for a few minutes.
Yeah, it looks like I'm getting a interesting. It looks like
we're back
like our connection is that's weird. Saying it's an unstable connection.
Sorry about that, guys.
It might be the Twitch servers that are having issues.
Yeah, because I'm not having any issue on my end sending things out. I think it's Twitch servers on their end.
Yeah.
Should we lose stuff or go down, the VOD of this will be up on YouTube on Monday, guys. So
sorry about that.
No worries. Sorry. So this figure comes in. He's got death in his hands. This is a disorder god, another god you do not know, but he's got death in his hands, and he lunges at Fleshman with it, and they struggle. And Fleshman manages to get his hands around the wrist, and they struggle again. They roll on the ground, and as they roll, the sword wounds both of them. And now they're both lying on the ground, wounded. Fleshman's still muttering the same thing. Humak killed him. Humak killed him. Humak killed him. And this disorder god now, he's got this gash on his throat, and he's coughing up this strange-looking blood. And he looks at you. He's holding his neck. Please, white lady, please hear me.
She'll run over.
Before you do, roll me
God.
I guess intelligence.
Okay. Let me so it's intelligence times 5?
Times 5, yeah.
Oh, calculator. Because I can't do math in my head. 16 times 5 is 80.
You should be good here.
Yeah, I rolled a 10.
Okay. So, listen, you can certainly heal him, but if you do, he might just go right back to trying to kill this dude.
She will kneel down and look at him and very quietly say, I will keep you safe, but please stop this fighting. And
I will honor you, Blight Lady.
She'll pump the healing into him.
It works. Fleshman himself is also wounded.
Yeah, she will immediately turn to him. And
you heal him as well.
Yep.
The disorder god stands up, kind of feels his neck where he's slashed, picks death up, kind of gives Fleshman a side eye, but leaves. Mark your character sheet. You're going to add 1d6 to your harmony. But that also decreases your disorder. So
that's fine. Dude, honestly, my harmony is already so high above my disorder.
Yeah, probably doesn't matter, but that's just remember that. That's all. Those runes, until some special secret surprise stuff happens later on, maybe those runes always have to balance out and add up to 100.
Nope, that's totally fine.
So he runs off. Fleshman, meanwhile, looks at you again and he goes, Humak killed him.
What happened
And then
to? Who did he kill?
Humak, he killed grandfather mortal. He killed him.
Grandfather mortal.
I must find him. And he runs off again.
Shit. Do I recognize who that is?
Grandfather mortal.
Yeah, just Christian, because I just don't know. As Sarah.
Arisa would know. Grandfather mortal is the grandfather of every mortal being.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's what I.
He was the first person to die.
Oh shit!
The first thing to die ever. So Orisa would know this because everybody learns this legend. Uramal found the sword death in the underworld, gave it to Humak, tricked Humak into using it to kill Grandfather Mortal.
Thank you, Amber, for the
good face, Amber. Thank you.
I love it so much.
And then Orlanth was like, "Hey, that's cool. I'm going to do that too." Stole the sword from Humak, used it to kill Yelm. And that caused a whole lot of fuckery.
And Orlanth fucked everything up.
Yes, as he is wont to do. But we still love him. Yes.
Oh, cool sword. Let me hold it.
And Humak was pissed about that and renounced his kinship to Orlanth. Which is why Humakti kind of renounced their kinship when they initiate. But that's beside the point. We're not dealing with them right now.
Our boy.
Yeah. But so Grandfather Mortal was the first thing that ever died.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I look back at my son and see if he's okay.
He's all right, but he's not fit to travel.
Is there somewhere safe I can bring him?
The instant you think that, the walls around you hear footsteps. And you were in the courtyard was kind of like a garden as well, although some of the trees look withered and stuff. But some of them open up and dryads come out. And they look at you. "Fear not, White Mother. We will keep the beloved safe."
Thank you.
And they kind of just embrace him and take him into the trees.
Yeah, before they do, I kind of reach out and I give him a little kiss on his forehead and say, "I'll be back, honey."
He's like a teenager, by the way. He's not 8 or 9.
Oh,
So,
I'm fully aware.
Yeah, I'm just telling you. I mean, you could still call him honey and kiss him. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he can get embarrassed
Mom.
by Mama. Yeah.
Kiss cheek.
The hot dryads. No.
Yes, go with your little wood milf, sweetie.
The wood milfs. Oh, God, don't go with the wood milf.
I had to do a callback. Come on.
Okay. So they take him, as they did in legend. The dryads protected Arwen. And so the elves worship him to this day. So, he's safe. What do you do?
Probably go after where Fleshman went to try and figure out what's going on.
It's a very Shalana Arroy thing to do. So you begin following the echoes of Fleshman in front of you. And you follow him out of the palace. And it's almost a reverse of your journey up as Arnalda. You walk out onto that great, tremendous mountain, the spike that you climbed, seems like centuries ago almost now. You experience this through other eyes. But it's so different this time because you wander out. And all those beautiful woods that Flammel grew, Flammel, the elf god who gave birth to all plants, all those beautiful woods now, you find yourself wandering through them and they're dark and the trees are dead. And there's little patches of fog where there are hollows and you hear the rattling of dead tree branches against each other in ill winds. And you hear moans, and in the distance you see witch lights floating here and there as you wander through this wood calling out for Fleshman. And you're calling out and you see eventually you find yourself on a path. It's a silver path that cuts through this wood. It's one of the only lights you see. So you walk towards it and you're walking on this silver path and you see a figure walking up the path towards you. Blue skin, armored, forearms, red hair. But so familiar to you somehow. Reminds you almost of a friend you maybe knew in another life. A very, very short friend. But he walks up to you And you find a phrase just coming out of you, and that's what I sent you in chat.
Okay.
I hear and stand before you,
No,
but
no.
Oh, no.
Shalana says it first.
Shit!
Sorry.
I
Messed it
wasn't
up.
sure either. You're good.
Yeah, no.
Chaos stalks my world. Bruise have bruised me, the hand has pawed me. I have taken up the impossible path and seek those who must aid my task. You are not the first of my friends. Others walked with me to heal. The devil took them. They died. I failed to save them. Chaos grows.
I hear and stand before you, but I am only one. What would you have of me?
Grandfather mortal has fallen. Aid me in finding a way to protect him or the others. I'm not sure what to do. This is... Can we reverse? Can we save from death?
We must try. What else can we do?
And I would like to lead, continuing on the path where I think I
Sure.
can follow Fleshman.
So you start following with Orlanth now in tow, Orlanth / Bryn, and you eventually come across Fleshman. You overtake him because he's kind of wandering around and muttering and like looking at trees and like he's not in the right frame of mind. But you find him and he's just like, it's all going to die. It's all going to die like grandfather. Just like Humak killed him. It is the end of everything.
Where is he? Can you take us to him?
He went west. I think. I don't know. Nothing makes sense anymore. We must find one. We must find one that doesn't make sense. So that he may tell us where to go in a world that doesn't make sense.
Do you know where to find them?
I know not.
Would I know anything that would fit the bill?
Someone who doesn't make sense. Ermal.
Would I know where to find him?
No, but you can wander around and look.
Okay. Yeah, she'll try and look for Ermal.
Sure. So you wander a little bit. And it seems maybe perhaps that fate is on your side because you come to a very small village in these woods, wooden stockade, small thatched huts. And in the middle there's a tree and a rope is thrown over one of the branches of the tree. And you see there's a big commotion as you come in. And people are like, hang him, hang him. He slept with my wife. He slept with my wife. Some woman's like, he slept with my husband. And they drag, you see two burly guys are dragging this other guy with his hands tied behind his back out.
Who is the
Yellow
guy?
eyes,
Is
pointy
it your okay?
teeth. Yep.
So she'll step in and just, please, he has caused chaos, but he does not mean harm. I need his help.
He's just like looking around. They're all like, do you know what he did?
Can you tell me?
He slept with my husband. Slept with my wife. He stole all my chickens. I think he did more to my chickens. Everybody's just like shouting stuff out.
Some things may call for punishment,
Nice, Amber.
but not death.
Make me an orate roll.
Oh shit.
Orate.
It's Aurisa. That doesn't fucking go well. Where is that's I only have 30. Yeah, no, I rolled a 67.
Okay. Wow. Okay. They're like, no, kill him. They're taking him to the rope. Orlanth Bryn, you can jump in here if you want to. You're muted.
Yeah,
though.
I'll just kind of step in front, and just be like, we can find another way. She's right. So that we can get hopefully what we need this man. And so that you see the justice that you likely rightly deserve.
They all kind of look at each other and they're like, we deserve recompense. How will we have it? And so I will just say, like, for everyone watching at home and for Jess, that Orlanth and Ermal have a very special relationship, which is why Gordangar has like his own little bonded buddy in Celadon, where an Orlanthi can be like, listen, dude, I will protect you and I will assume responsibility for your fuckery, but you don't lie to me and you don't fuck with me. Got it? And that is actually this happening right here is the beginning of that. So if Orlanth / Bryn is like, listen, I will provide the recompense to you people for like your chickens and your spouses, they'll let you go, and you just have to like make him swear that he won't do any of that stuff. That's basically, you don't have to role play it, but that's what happened.
Yes, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Just swear to me you'll never do this again. I will.
He's like, all right, not in this town anyway.
Ever again, Armal.
Yes.
Loyalty to me and I will be loyal to you.
Fine.
And whatever troubles you bring ahead.
Don't fuck your chickens.
Good.
Ducks, though.
We need your help.
Why would you need my help?
I forget. Why do we need his help? He knows something. He's seen something.
This world doesn't make sense,
No shit.
and you might be the person to get us on the right track to finding what's next.
Okay.
Grandfather Mortal was killed, and I'm trying to find
Oh,
him.
I don't know who did that.
Humox did.
He does this and like
I was
steals
like,
his
are
daughter's
you
shirt.
telling
Yeah.
the truth, Armal? And the
We've been-
negotiation we just made.
We've been told it was Humoct.
That sounds like something he would do.
Do you know where we might be able to find Grandfather Mortal so I can try and see if I can fix him? Help him.
Oh, he goes the same place everyone who's died went.
Where is that?
West.
Can you lead us?
Yeah. And he starts walking west. And you travel west. And this is where, like, again, this is similar to the situation where when you were in as Arnalda, some of these memories flash by very, very quickly. They're as if you were kind of like watching, you wouldn't have any frame of reference for watching TV, but it's like fast forwarding some things. But you travel west and there are many, many, many trials. Everybody goes through things. You meet a couple other travelers along the way, a scholar and a traveler. And on the shores of the great gray ocean, you meet someone else. And there are 7 of you. And you cross that ocean to the west and you go into the underworld. And again, there are many, many, many trials. But all of a sudden, somewhere along the way in this great castle, there's some sort of betrayal and everybody's separated. And it's as if something breaks there for you, Aurisa. Because you're not Shalana Arroy anymore. You're Aurisa again. And you're alone on this great dark plain on the underworld. And it's not cold, but it's not warm. And the air isn't still, but there isn't a breeze either. And there's no stars in the sky, no moon or no sun, but somehow there's enough light still for you to see it, just like an ambient, strange light. And there's a little bit of what feels like almost like a very thin coating of ash across this bare rock, but that's the only thing that you see or feel. And you're just wandering on this great dark plain. What do you do?
I'm continuing my search for Grandfather Mortal.
Okay. So you keep walking. And in the distance, you see a white light. It's a little pinprick.
Okay, I'll head towards it.
Okay. As you walk towards it, it seems to be getting bigger. And you walk for, it feels like forever. But you don't get tired and you don't get hungry. And there's no day or night here, so you can't tell how long you're walking. But eventually you see it's a figure walking towards you. Just glowing with this beautiful white light. And eventually you get close enough to see more detail. It's this beautiful, thin woman dressed in white robes with this flowing black hair, white shawl over her head, harmony runes on her, walking right towards you.
What is the... trying to think of how to phrase this. Like, what is... like, in our world, like, you meet someone you're, like, you worship, like, you bow, right? How people, bow with religion. Is there an equivalent to that here? Because, like, if Arisa's walking up and makes direct eye contact with Shalana Roy, she's going to immediately be like, bitch? Reverence.
I think bowing is appropriate. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. She will get to a respectable distance and immediately bow to her.
She stops before you and she's like, stand up, Arisa.
She does. And also, her heart stops for a second because she just said my name.
You did well so far. Don't worry about the rest of that stuff. I took care of it a long, long time ago. I just think it's important for you to experience one of the biggest decisions I ever made. You made it too. Do you know what it was?
Not giving up on the search, continuing to try and find a way to protect people?
It was the decision to go on the search in the first place. It was the decision to do something about the evil in the world. It was a decision to try to put it back together.
I have so many people I want to keep safe, to protect.
I know you do, dear. We've come to the real test now. So I'm going to ask you this, because it will be painful. You're going to see things. Do I have your consent?
Yes.
Okay. Walk with me then. And you start walking with the goddess. And again, you're still in the same place, this flat, featureless gray plain. But as you walk, these wisps and these spirits, every once in a while they come out of nowhere and they come up to her. And some of them are beautiful. Beautiful spirits that come up and speak with her. And some of them are just these horrible demons. But every single one of them pays her respect. And she greets every single one of them with the same kindness, no matter what they are. And you walk ahead, you see this dull glow. And what it is it's an archway, just like, not a stone archway, it's just this archway of light in this gray, featureless plain. It's a doorway. She goes, this is the first one. I'll wait for you here. Just step through.
All right.
And you step through, and the first thing you hear is rain. And you realize that it comes as a shock because you realize that this whole time that you've been spending in the underworld, you didn't hear anything. There was no sound whatsoever, other than you heard Shalana Roy's voice, obviously. But outside of that, there's no background noise. And you didn't realize that you weren't hearing it until you hear sound again. And it comes as a big shock, and everything seems very loud. But it's raining. It's a slight, cold, wet drizzle that's falling on you. And you're standing on a battlement. There's a wooden palisade, and you're standing on a battlement. And looking out of the night, you see stars in the sky again. No red moon, but you see campfires of an army that's surrounding whatever this fortress or town is. And you see arrows stuck in the battlement, and you know there's been fighting here. And standing ahead of you with his back turned, you see these massive shoulders, tall, peaked bronze helmet, sword strapped to his side. And you get that feeling in your stomach again when you see that sword. There's a figure standing there in the rain, keeping watch on the battlements. Doesn't seem to know you're there yet.
Do I recognize it?
Not from the back.
I'll walk a little closer.
Okay. As you do, you hear weeping.
Does it sound like it's coming from the person?
It is.
Okay, I'll go up to them.
Yeah. He turns. Night blue skin. Just like blue, but dark blue, almost black. And on it are runes of death and truth. His skin is almost like a blue-black, and the runes that are on his skin are just like a lighter blue. So they're almost hard to see. And he's got this belt of skulls around him, and these piercing eyes that almost glow. It's Humak.
I was just going to say, is this Humak? Okay.
Yeah. And he's got streaks on his cheeks where he's been crying. Oh, forgive me, my lady. You should not be up here. I'm keeping watch.
What is the matter?
Well, the enemy could come upon us on any time. So it's not safe for you here.
She'll reach into... Does she have anything with her?
What do you want to have with you?
She wants to have a handkerchief to dry his tears.
Oh my God, you do?
Yeah, so she'll reach into the magical little pouch on her belt, and she'll gently reach out, and she'll pause before reaching out to him, and then she'll gently...
he's a warrior. He's not used to being touched by people who aren't trying to kill him. So he kind of...
Just to dry your tears, friend.
You mustn't tell the others.
No one will know but us.
I don't know why I do this. It's foolish and weak.
No. It's actually the opposite. It shows you care about your soldiers and your people.
They did their duty. I shouldn't miss them. But I do.
Remembering them is the best way to keep their legacy alive, even though their spirits have passed from our plane to the spirit realm. They still know they are being honored and loved.
He looks at you. So it is, White Lady.
It is the greatest sign of respect you can give them.
Puts his hand on yours.
She'll give his hand a little squeeze of comfort.
Still, don't tell Stormball.
I won't.
I'll go. It's not safe up here.
All right. And she'll turn and go back to where she can.
Yep, you go back through the door. Shallan is waiting for you. Come on. And keep walking. Walk a little bit longer further. And there's another one. Another one of those archways. Kind of gestures. Gestures like the ghost of Christmas yet to come for you to go through.
That's so scary. Yeah.
This is sort of the inspiration for some of this stuff.
Hell yeah. I can feel the vibes and I respect it. Yeah, she'll go in.
Okay. You find yourself standing in a very small, stand of trees down a hill. And what you see in the distance is there's a hall. Not very different from Gordengar's, actually. So it's not a major clan's hall or town. It's a smaller one, maybe a little bit bigger than Gordengar's. And there are some torches and a bonfire outside, like there had been a banquet of some sort. But what you see is all sorts of chaos. You see men and women are just like running back and forth naked, and you see like these warriors like are just like grab their spears and shields and they're chasing someone. You see him running, and they're like, "We'll get you, you fucker!" And he's running right towards you. And he kind of like jumps and slides down the hilltop into the woods, and he's just like laughing, doesn't see you yet, and kind of like he's wearing nothing but a loincloth, and his skin is like has gotten like almost like ash has been rubbed on his skin, so it's like grayish tone to it. He's got very pointy teeth and yellow eyes, and he's got a bag in one hand. It's his bag of tricks, and nothing in his other. And he just kind of like is covering his mouth, trying laughing into his mouth as these guys like run around the trees like looking for him.
Yarmul, what have you done?
Oh, how did you get here?
I walked.
Must have been a long walk.
Feels like it. But what is going on?
Oh, nothing.
This is certainly not nothing. There are people chasing after you with their weapons and naked people running
that
about.
Happens all the time.
Oh, yes, but what caused it this time?
Oh, well, just having a little fun.
You know as well as I do, your idea of fun is different than everyone else's.
I do know that. It gets he actually gets strangely serious when you say that. That has always been the case.
I'm not here to cause you harm or send them after you. I just want to know what's going on so I can help possibly mend things.
They don't deserve it.
Why not?
Let them run around naked. They think they're so important.
Well, to them, maybe they are important. Everyone's important to themselves and their clan.
Not to me.
Well, yes, they're always
Who
going
am
to...
I important to? No one.
Well, that's not true.
No, don't lie. I'm the liar, not you.
You're important to Orlanth.
Am I?
Yes. I don't think he would put as strong protection on you if he didn't care about you. No one does that for someone they just dislike or just are neutral about.
It's true. I suppose it's true. I don't know. Everyone's always laughing at me. Sometimes I just think it would be nice if people laughed with me. So I do my little pranks.
On the surface, that makes sense, and I understand that. What sort of prank was this, though?
Oh, I hid all their clothes.
All of them?
Yep.
Where did you hide them?
Oh, here and there.
In places that they can find?
If they're smart.
They're panicked. It's cold and they're naked.
Some of them have extra padding. They'll be fine.
Some of them. Mortals get frostbite very easily.
Fine.
Perhaps pranks that don't involve the potentiality of severe damage. Maybe swapping their clothes with each other. So everyone might know where to find them eventually, but it's a little weird at first.
Mm-hmm.
And it might be very funny to see a young child wandering out in the village in his grandmother's tunic. You know, that's cute. People will laugh at that. It's funny.
Oh, I wasn't going to go for that. I was going to go for more like a fat man in a little coat, but
I mean, that works too.
Okay, fine. I'll give it back.
You could still have fun. I'm never going to take that away from you. I don't think I could if I tried. And I wouldn't try. Exactly. But just different fun.
Brain. It goes in.
And she'll watch and make sure that things
He starts
settle.
finding the clothes and giving them back to them.
Okay. She's just making sure it's stabbed.
Yeah, I mean, he's good at talking his way out of things.
All right. Good. We'll take that.
Like the Ermal legends are hysterical. There's one where it's like to win a bet, he seduced 600 married women, like one a night over a period of like 600 nights. And the only thing that stopped him was Dendara's sister, who's like this demon who has a vagina with teeth in it. Yeah. Which is hysterical. So Dendara is Yelm's like wife. She's like the good trophy wife, right? And I can't think of the goddess's name, but her sister is like this horrible underworld demon with like the vagina teeth. And every like Wednesday she comes to play chess with Dendara in Yelm's palace. And it's awesome because if you think about it, she's like the bitchy sister-in-law. Gorgoma, thank you. Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah, she's the bitchy sister-in-law. Yeah.
Far superior.
Yep,
I
awesome.
better
also
sister.
and it is, and you think of it, then it's like, is Legend really from Yelm's point of view, right? She's really just like an independent woman, and he doesn't like that.
Yeah, I mean, his wife clearly loves her enough to have her come over every week and hang out.
And I just love.
She just don't got any patience for Yelm's bullshit.
Yeah.
There's artwork of it in the Prosopadia, which is just like Dendara like playing chess with like this horrible like demon woman. It's hysterical. I love it. Yeah.
Respect.
Mad respect.
Yeah, no,
So
once
anyway.
things settle, she'll head back.
Ermal scampers off and talks his way out of trouble, and I don't know, maybe you fixed him, you don't know. Probably not. He'll get himself into trouble again.
She gave him a nice little pep talk. Maybe she
Fucking
gave him
love
a
playing
better
Ermal.
idea.
I need to find more excuses to play Ermal.
He's meant for
So-
you.
You're doing
He really
good.
is.
That was great.
Thank you. I am a living trickster, so yeah. You go back through the doorway. She goes, "Oh, you did really well with him. Usually people don't listen."
There's some people back home that are like him a little.
Oh, bless you.
Not in the bad ways.
So you head on, and there's another doorway.
Yep. All right. Round 3.
Goes to Christmas passes. It's really stuffy and hot in here, and close. It's a library, and there are all these shelves with scrolls all around you, and it's like kind of dusty and like smelly, like a dry papery smell. And outside of wherever you are, whatever this building is, you hear like revelry at a festival and things like that. But inside there's a desk, and there's a figure reading a scroll at the desk. He's like a middle-aged man with a very, very long beard. Like that's the thing immediately when you look at it, like, wow, this guy's got like a rocking beard. It's a very long beard. It's like very nice, and he's got like some rings in it and stuff. And he's like writing and reading, and he looks like he doesn't see you. And he looks like he's trying to concentrate, but then he hears like the revelry outside, and he's just like, and he kind of just goes back to reading and writing whatever it is he's writing. You would recognize this. So Sarah doesn't have we haven't talked about him a lot, so you don't have a lot of context here, but Aurisa would recognize Lankar Mai when she sees him.
Okay.
The god of scribes and knowledge.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll approach at an angle that makes her very visible to him as to not startle.
Oh, hello, milady. What are you doing here? I'm surprised you're not out reveling with the rest of them.
I was going to ask the same of you. Why aren't you out enjoying the day?
Oh, I just have this translation I've been working on, and I know there are certain things I want to know in here, but I'm just quite not. I'm old, and I don't really quite not as quick as I used to be mentally, so I have to spend a little more time reading than I would like to.
Perhaps I could help?
No, I wouldn't bother you.
It's not a bother
It's
if I'm
very
offering.
dry things. I would. Well. Oh, okay. I mean, if you wish.
Sure. I'd be happy to give it a shot.
Okay.
Hey, can I read all of a sudden?
You're a fucking goddess. Yeah.
Okay. I can read now.
Yeah. Damn. It is a text concerning trolls and their history.
Oh, okay, cool.
And a history of darkness deities.
Ooh, okay. So, are you looking for something in particular?
Oh no, I'm just a little interested in. Yes, as a matter of fact, hold on a minute. This is an opportunity to bring out my favorite troll goddess. I'm going to get the Prosopadia.
Hey.
And I got to find her because I can't remember her name, but she has a great picture. And I know it's like a Y something, I think.
You're welcome for giving you an excuse to bring out the book.
Vanakira, who is the troll goddess of yeeting.
Of what?
She's the goddess of throwing things.
Oh,
and here she is throwing a demon.
My God.
That's an incredible portfolio. Oh my God, Kent, you
Yes.
picked the wrong portfolio to pursue in a Watch.
Vanakira is the daughter of Kyger Lator and is one of the 7 sacred ancestors. Before Vanakira, trolls could only understand things they touched, but she taught them how to deal with things outside themselves. She is called the Hurler because of her everlasting fame at casting large objects over incredible distances. She once threw a chaos god out of the universe. Fucking badass. Vanakira is typically depicted as a female mistress race troll hurling a rock or a demon.
I
Troll
love
goddess
her.
of yeeting. Yes.
I love
incredible.
her.
Yeah. When I was interested in the history of one of the 7 sacred ancestors of the trolls, Vanakira, have you ever heard of her?
Briefly, but
She
only a bit.
cast a chaos god out of the universe. Like, how amazing is that, would you think?
I respect that so incredibly.
So do I. And that's why I want to read. I'm just reading some troll history here. And as you sit with him for a while, and he talks a lot about trolls and troll history, and he has a lot of knowledge about this stuff. And as you converse with him, he can talk about a lot of different stuff, as a matter of fact. He's he knows a lot. Sometimes he talks a little bit too much about the stuff he knows, but he seems really, really happy to have someone to talk to about it.
This is me encouraging one of my friends to hyperfixate and info dump on me, and I am extremely encouraging of it.
And he does that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because sometimes that's what helps
you. He is the god of info dumping, and he actually
That's what helps you to break throughs the most, though, and that's what that's what I'm going for here.
Yeah, and you helped the shit out of him. So he seems very, very happy. And at the end of his several lectures on different topics, because then he gets to but then this goddess did this, and he talks about different things.
He's a professor with ADHD. Got it.
Pretty much. And he says, "Thank you so much."
Of course, I'm glad to be of help, and this was very interesting.
It's not often that I get to talk to people about these things. I really appreciate it.
Of course.
And you kind of pat your hand.
All right. Well, don't forget. Take some time to enjoy yourself today. Take a little break.
I already have.
And she'll give a little nod and turn and head out. And
yeah, if you guys ever meet any trolls, which maybe, there'll absolutely be some troll warriors of Vanakira who just fucking throw stuff.
I want to fight alongside one of them.
They just
so
throw
bad.
stuff and people. Yeah.
Can they hear me out?
Okay.
Throwing Bryn into battle.
Oh my God.
That'd be amazing.
Just say she's the
fastball
perfect size
special.
for throwing.
Love it.
Yeah, we'll talk. That makes sense. Shalana looks very happy after you walk through. Good job.
Thank
Come
you.
along. You go to another one, and this is last. Well, never mind.
Yeah. She takes a breath and goes in.
It's a market. There's all sorts of sounds in this. It's a bustling market. It's sunny and it's bright, and there's the sounds of animals and the smells of cooking food, and all sorts of like the excitement of a market. Aurisa has never really been to a big market in a big city. She's only familiar with like the smaller ones and maybe some trade ones that have happened. Like she traveled like very little bit out of the veil for. She never
Maybe to
really,
like Johnston at best.
Actually, no, I take it back because Boldhome's not far away, so you could have been to Boldhome, and you would have been. You could have been to Johnston because there's a Shalana Arroy temple there. So yes, this is like the temple. This is like the markets. Boldhome is bigger than Johnston. This is like those markets.
Yeah, because her family's from Johnston.
Yes, because there's a temple of Shalana Arroy there. So this is like those markets, and you see a younger man, and he wears a wide brimmed straw hat and dusty traveler's robes, and he's closing some sort of deal. And he gets the coins and he shakes hands and heads into a wine shop. Finds a table in the corner, gets a bowl of wine because they drink wine out of little clay bowls, and just kind of sits there by himself, watching people around him. Nobody really seems to talk to him. Around him, people are, greeting their friends. If somebody walks in and everyone's like, Thanatar! Just like Norman cheers. And he walks to the thing and sits down. And, so all these friend groups are gathering around him, eating dinner and stuff. And he's basically there himself.
Okay. So she'll get herself a little bowl of wine.
Mm-hmm.
And go over towards where he is and just, do you mind if I join you?
Oh, my lady, of course. You recognize now, you would know, Aurisa would know this too, Isaris, the merchant.
Okay. So she'll perch down. How was the day out in the market?
Surprising to see you this far from home.
Doing a bit of traveling at the moment.
Okay. Well, good enough, I suppose.
People walking away with smiles on their faces and new items in their hands.
Yes, always. I'm sorry, I'm reading fucking Amber's fucking rampage and I wasn't watching it before. But
then that makes a good day.
I suppose it does. And he kind of looks into his wine bowl.
Something the matter?
Oh, no, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Right.
He's not fine. He's looking into his wine bowl. It's kind of like running his finger around the upper edge.
Well, if you need to talk, I'm here to listen and not judge.
I go many places. And I see many things. And because of the trade and the things that I do, I bring a lot of people together. But I ask you, where does that leave me? Do I belong to everything? Or do I belong nowhere? Some days, my lady, it feels like I belong nowhere. This is one of those days.
I understand that feeling. To feel like you should belong somewhere, but just something doesn't feel right and you just feel more alone than you ever were, even though you're surrounded by people you care for?
It's the loneliest way to be alone, isn't it? In a
It's
crowd.
very strange. And I don't think those days will ever be gone forever. But we have to just remember that even if there's no one place we belong, we still belong. I mean, you said it yourself, you're bringing people together. And no one's going to look at the person that helped them with something with disdain. You'll find someone who cares about you in every village, every town you visit.
Perhaps you're all right.
I remember the first time I purchased a toy when I was a child. And I still remember the face of the man that sold it to me. I remember being given a coin by my grandmother and going to purchase a small doll. And I remember the doll, and I still think on the man who sold it to me very kindly, because I'm pretty sure I didn't have enough money for it, but he realized that I was young and didn't understand and still sold it to me anyway. And I know now, looking back, that sure, he lost a little bit of coin, but he made me very happy.
He smiles at you and reaches out and pets the hand. And he says, traveled far and wide looking for wealth, but the greatest treasure one could find on the road is a friendly face. Thank you, white lady.
Of course.
Have more wine. Then he orders some more wine.
And should our paths whenever our paths cross, I will absolutely be that friendly face. Always happy to sit and talk.
I'm sure they will again.
And she cheers? Is that a thing?
Yeah, you clink the wine. Yeah.
Well, yeah, clink a drink.
Yeah. Okay. Good job. Good job. Sarah didn't know she was going to get called upon to provide therapy tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, next time I talk to my therapist, I'm going to be like, Steph, you're not going to believe this shit. She's going to be so proud.
Okay.
She'll head on out.
Sure. Shauna, you are doing well. Last few are probably the worst.
All right.
There's a big other one, and you walk through it. You're in a great hall, bigger than Gornagar's, way bigger. There's a big fire pit, like right through the center, and there are weapons and shields, and then hit the light on my wall. Trophies hung on this hall, but it's empty. It's empty of thanes. It's empty of warriors. It's empty of subjects and children and women. There's nobody here. There's a great high seat at the end of the hall. And then you realize it's not as empty as you thought, because someone's sitting there with his head in his hands. Well, two of his hands, because he's got four. And it's a great blue-skinned, red-bearded warrior. He's wearing nothing at this point, no armor. He's wearing just a white skirt. And he's got wounds of mastery and air and movement. All these tattoos across his shoulders. He's got jewelry and armbands up and down his arms. He's got a torque of rulership around his neck. He's got bronze anklets around his or gold anklets around his ankles. Bejeweled, bedecked. He's got a sword at his side and a spear. And he's just like this, looking down.
So she'll I slowly walk up. Orlanth, my friend, what has happened here?
Oh, well, my lady, how are you?
I'm all right. I'm concerned about you, though.
Well, what makes you think I need concern? He says that, but then he looks around and there's like literally like no one here.
You are alone in a place that should be filled with life.
That is the problem.
What do you mean?
She's gone. They're all gone.
Who's gone?
All of them. Ronaldo. All my warriors, my friends. You know why they're gone?
Why?
Because of me.
What happened?
I killed Yelm. And I killed so many other people. And for what? To prove my place in the world? And what is my place? This? There won't even be a world left soon. All because of me.
We are still here. The world is
For
not
now.
done yet. I have long searched for a way to undo that final act that has been done. What if we try and fix it?
I don't have the best track record when I set out to do things.
Perhaps it is better to not go it alone. We have successfully worked when we've gathered others together before.
You sound like her now.
Who?
Her. Oh, there's always another way. That's what she always said.
Well, there is.
I know. Just hated that she was right about it.
People are allowed to be right sometimes, you know.
Oh, I know. I just want to be the one that is, you know.
You're also allowed
nice
to be
just
right
once.
sometimes.
Just once, it would be nice.
I'm sure you've been right before, and I'm sure you'll be right again. And the right thing now is to try and fix this mistake.
You are right.
I am
I should
also
try
allowed
to
to be
fix it.
right sometimes.
Hopefully I won't screw it up this time.
We'll work together.
Let's.
And
he
see if we
stands
can
up.
grab some others on our way.
Who else could help us?
Well, there's a little friend that might owe us some favors.
Oh, that's weird little guy, Irmo. You know why I like him?
Why?
He screws up more than I do. All right, let's go find him.
All right.
Thank you, White Lady. I was feeling sorry for myself, which is not a good thing for a king to do.
You're allowed to feel sorrow.
Grabs his weapons. Come
She
on.
just shakes her head and follows.
We're wasting time here. And he stalks out of his hall. And if you walk out, you wind up back with Shalana Roy, who's laughing her ass off.
Okay.
She's like, he's always like that. How are you feeling?
Nervous.
Do you begin to understand?
I think so.
Do you wish to continue?
More than anything.
This last one's the hardest one. You won't really be able to intervene. but it's something you need to see.
Okay.
Okay. She kind of steps aside, and there's the final door. And you're in the spike again. But this time, you're not Shalana Arroy. And you're certainly not Arnalda, because you're not thick at all. As a matter of fact, you're really plain.
Just skinny ass Aurisa the Pale.
Even skinnier than you are in real life. Just a skinny, bony, little wisp of a thing. You came to the spike at the same time as Arnalda came. You came to be one of Yelm's consorts, and you're just ignored. As a matter of fact, you're like pretty much the opposite of Arnalda. Arnalda gives birth to life. Arnalda has fertility, and you are not blessed. And those gods and goddesses at the spike, they make fun of you. They mock you. You're the funny-looking one, the strange one, the plain one. They tell you you'll never amount to anything. And so you just basically exist in the spike, and others get their glory. Other gods and goddesses go off and do things, and all you do is clean and cook, and you find solace among the weakest little spirits, the angriest little spirits, all the other little spirits who hate how they're treated. And the sun dies, and it makes no difference to you. The world is plunged into darkness. Arnalda, of course, marries Orlanth. Just like the cheerleader goes out with a football captain. Nobody ever looks at you. You're sitting in the stands. And now you just go to their camp, and you're in Orlanth's hall, and you're a servant there. The plain one. And unseen, you fill cups, and you serve plates, and you're mocked there too. They're mocking you there because they're cowards, and they know that there's nothing you can do back to you. There's nothing you can do back to them. So you just take it, because it's just the way it's always been. And one day another goddess comes in, and this goddess stands before Orlanth, and she does something you've never seen before, because she demands justice. She demands something out of him. And she doesn't necessarily get what she demands. And because of that, she threatens. She threatens Orlanth, and she threatens her entire court. Her name is Thed. And Thed awakens something in you. She's sent away. But you realize that in this world where there's new things like death and dying, there are things that even these blowhard warriors fear. And you can never stand before them with a spear or a shield, but you know what? You have a power that they can never consider. Because your friends, those little spirits that were so angry about the way they were treated, they can slip in and they can sap the strength out of even the strongest, mightiest warrior. And they can make crops wither and die. They can make cattle fall down and die in the fields. They bring death, not with a sword in hand, not with glory. They bring death as a weakness. And it's a death with no honor. It's a death just like the life they made you live. And you leave Orlanth's hall. You leave with Thed, and you leave with the other god, the other brother. You're the outcasts, the abused, but you're abusers too. And you leave and you give birth to your pain, and your pain will destroy the world. But you know what? No one's ever going to ignore you ever again. And they're never going to dare call you plain. And if they manage to avoid swords and spears, you're going to be there waiting for you with your death. And you're going to mock them while they suffer. You see all that, and you feel all that. And then you're standing before Shalana Arroy again. What do you do?
Aurisa takes just a deep breath of air in and out. And just very quietly says,
Sit down, love.
I know her well.
Sit down, love. And Shalana Arroy just kind of sits and holds your hands in hers. I know you do. Do you understand now my secret, my deepest, deepest pain. I can bring the dead back to life, can mend the shattered heart, but that doesn't make it unbroken. I can't heal the wounds that truly matter. Unhealable wounds. Everyone carries them. Wounds that bleed in silence, tears never seen on our face. 1,000 little scars. But those are the wounds that cause the most pain. Those are the wounds that cause the most destruction. The other brother didn't start the way he did. He was just a child. He saw things he should never have seen. And then, she didn't want to give birth to chaos. And Malia, she found the only place she was allowed to flourish. Don't misunderstand me. They bear the responsibility for the choices they made, but I ask you, did we give them a chance to make any other choices?
No.
That's compassion. The child that's not embraced by the village will burn it to feel its warmth. And all those wounds we can't heal, all those things that we might think are not a big deal, all those little injuries, those are the sins that break the world. But compassion is what heals it. And it was compassion in the court of the dead that brought the world back to life. Nothing else. Not Orland's sword or Uramal's tricks or all the knowledge that Langermai has, all the honeyed words, the emissaries. No. Compassion. That's what you need to have. And that's what you need to go out in the world with if you're going to be a white lady. And I know you have it. But I'll tell you this. Don't forget to have it for yourself. Because you're going to have to make some decisions that will haunt you.
I know.
Now, what do you want to ask of me?
I feel broken. There is
We all
something
do.
inside that doesn't sit right. It doesn't make sense. I don't feel... I've never felt right in my own skin. And not just because of the curse I bear.
What you bear isn't something that can't be taken away. The curse. That being said, for now, it might be worthwhile to carry it a little bit longer. It gives us compassion to carry burdens sometimes. But that's not what you're asking. There is no one who doesn't belong.
I just don't know where... As I said, I don't know where I belong.
And that's just a sign that you need to go and look for it. And I'll tell you one place you belong.
What's that?
Along with me.
And Aurisa starts crying.
She hugs you.
Yeah, she clings on to her like she would her grandmother.
And I will say that you awake crying,
Yeah,
but they're good tears.
and not vomiting.
Not vomiting this time. And you awake just as the first rays of light come through into this dead, into your shrine. Crying some very good tears. And feeling much better than you have in a long, long time.
She'll slowly get up, then carefully roll up the mat that was left out for her. And take the teacup and, anything else that was brought in. And she'll walk out into the light of the winter morning.
And I think we'll stop there. Great job, Sarah.
I saw the moment Sarah figured it out, the Malia thing. I was like, her face just went, and I was like, she got it.
Oh my God. I was like, you started describing it, and I was like,
really emotional shit.
Yeah, that was
too. Like,
that was a really good
That
end.
was a good one. That end was very good. That was an excellent scene.
Oh, crap.
So good.
fuck.
compassion, sympathy, even for your enemies.
This is the most me character I have ever made.
Oof.
Ah.
That is hard.
It is literally a running joke through everyone that I have played with, that my characters try to befriend their way out of situations. And Aurisa was told by her goddess, hey, go do that. So
yeah, go befriend.
And also, I'm your friend.
Yeah, and also I'm your friend. Y'all, Arisa's gonna become more powerful than she is.
It's a found family story, guys.
It really is. Oh my God.
She belongs with the people she loves who loves her.
Stop. Oh.
Wow.
Wow.
That's high praise. Yeah.
Gerbo just said it spoke to them as well. They're a psychiatric nurse, says you're preaching my philosophy.
So I want to say thank you very much to Cernibus. I'm not sure Cernibus is here tonight, which is a bummer if he's not, because he reached...
I saw them earlier, yeah.
Cool. So I earlier, a couple of streams back, had said like I had no idea what to do with this one, because there's like very, very little stuff about Shalana Roy other than the stuff on the Lightbringer's quest. And so I had just put out there, like, reach out to me if you have any ideas, because I need help. And I had the core of an idea, but I didn't know what to do with it. And so I knew I wanted to start like in the Spike. Thank you, Cernibus. Thank you, man. Because his idea was the stuff with the Disorder God and fighting Fleshman, and having to do having to have harmony between them. Like, yeah, you can heal him, but he's just going to turn around and like kill this guy. So you need to also stop the fighting. You need to make peace, because that's a very Shalana or
I was
thing to
say
do.
it's very Shalana.
Yeah, like, they will heal you, but then you owe them, and usually what you owe them is like, stop all this nonsense now, boys. And
go to your corner.
And I wanted to. I also, from the very beginning, knew, especially because you had such a visceral reaction to like going through the riddle and being in the Spike as Ronaldo, I knew I wanted to take you back there as someone else.
Yeah.
And I wanted to show it like at the end when it fell apart, like when the world was being destroyed, and the story of her trying to thank you so much. The chat is congratulating me, but I really just, whatever. A lot of people help me. Talking about that now. I wanted to have like that arrow and not being able to heal the god. And Amber like came through like tremendously, because I just bounced ideas off of her. And her ideas were the palliative care for the dying god. Like, you can't heal him. He's just going to die. So you just have to give him his last moments in comfort. The other stuff was Shalana Arroy's, what she brings on the Lightbringer's quest is compassion. And ultimately it is, like, she's not lying. Compassion is what healed the world at the end. But she also, the challenge she faces are things that are unhealable. So what I've been thinking about is like, well, what's unhealable? It's trauma, right? So it's all those like things that kind of add up and you collect. And the truth about it is, even with the Lightbringer's quest, like they put the world back together, they made it function again, but they didn't make it what it was. They didn't heal the world. They didn't heal the wound. It
doesn't go away. It just evolves.
It doesn't go away. You just evolve past it. And so that was like, I wanted to focus on that. And I used the other Lightbringer deadies. And I was like, okay, well, what's their problems? What would they have? Well, Ermal is a trickster. He just wants people to laugh with him instead of being laughed at, because everybody pretty much treats him like shit.
Clown who just wants to be liked.
He just wants to be liked, and everybody treats him like shit, which is canon. Like everybody hates him. So he does a lot of stuff to deserve being hated. Trust me.
I see.
Orlanth constantly fucks up.
Uninstall and reinstall the sun.
She probably feels really bad about that, right? Lanker Mai, what is he? He's a nerd. He doesn't have anyone to talk to about his nerd stuff. Isseries goes everywhere, but he doesn't belong to anyone, right? So like I went through all that, and then I still needed something to really like, and that's when I came up with the idea for Malia.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, that was
so good.
Yeah, ending on Malia was.
I like how it included the Fed legend but like also skirting it, but also like not doing it disjustice at the same time too.
It started as telling Amber. It started as me going through Ragnalar, Fed, and Malia, like all the unholy trio, and being like, yeah, well, listen, Ragnalar, like Darstrom, was thrown into the sex pit. He was traumatized by shit he shouldn't have seen. But it got into like some territory I didn't want to go into. So I was just like, you know what? We're just going to just focus on Malia.
Yeah, the focus on Malia is really important. It's a very important part.
Just because Malia is direct to Aurisa.
It's so tied into her story. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's literally a part of her.
Like that is, it was so her like realizing her power that she never thought she had. And now she's just like, I'm going to get you fuckers. And, that stuff with swords and spears. So there's a line in the Havamal, which is like Nordic stuff. And it says, you might think you're cool because you avoid swords and spears, but old age is going to fuck you up. That's a very heavy paraphrase. So that's why you shouldn't be afraid of dying in battle. And I was like, well, I'm just going to take that and reverse it. Right? Like she's just like waiting for you. Like, come on, dude. You thought you were so tough, but now you're going to die like shitting yourself in bed. And I'm going to laugh at you while you're dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get the best of the heroes, the ones who couldn't be killed.
Yep, and Gerbo just says Malia and the rest of Trio stayed in the pain instead of using it to learn and grow. Right, exactly. They didn't allow it to make them better. Interestingly, like something I'm very happy about with our game is Darston did grow and become okay with it because people helped him.
He's learning to evolve.
Yeah, the way we've been taking this campaign is
community. I like that theme too. That community makes all the difference. That Malia and Ragnar are alone.
Yep, exactly. They did not have that. They had a community. By the time they did have a community, it was the three of them, and it was so toxic that it was like beyond fun. Yeah,
yeah.
Darston had his family and his people.
Yep. Man, so we're done with all this,
guys.
Which is like.
Hey, we did all the initiation.
These are hard to do, so I'm happy that they're done. This is so much easier to just be like run a regular game and be like, all right, so what do you want to do? Roll some dice.
Oh, butts.
I'm sure there'll be other hero quests to come, but hopefully not for a while.
Fucking Ermal.
I love her.
And that's how the Cadbury Bunny was born.
I need to find more excuses to play him now because I fucking love playing Ermal so much.
He seems pretty random to pop up, like at least pop in and pop out.
I was in the chat. I was like, give him a Sharpie. Give him a Sharpie.
I
redirect him.
Draw a dick butt.
And that's how the dick butt was born.
It would be fucking normal that invented dick butt.
Yeah, that's totally an Ermal thing.
Oh, God.
Oh, man, guys.
Well, all right. Well, hell.
Shorter one tonight, but impactful.
I'm going to give a couple of thanks that we got at the end of the stream. Doc Void, thank you for 17 freaking months of subscribing to us. Absolutely holy cannoli, my boy. Thank you, sweetheart. It's so sweet of you. And Gilray91, pod listener, finally hitting a live stream, ending Hit Me Good. thank you. Christian, you absolutely nailed it.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we're glad to see people coming over from podcast to stream. That's really awesome.
It's
Now
even
you
more
know what we
chaotic when
look
we're
like.
live. Yeah.
Oh no. Dangerous.
Which one of us looks the least like we sound?
Hard.
That is a question I would like to pose to people who are seeing us
I think it's
for the
me.
first time.
Wow, really?
I've been told I don't look like I sound because I have a lower voice than people expect me to. Not much,
That
but
is
I do
fair.
have a lower register than people expect me to.
That is fair.
But anyway.
Literally sound like I'm like 9 years old.
All right, well, probably Kent and Jess, they said.
Oh.
Ooh.
I could see mine. I don't know about Kent.
They're
It's
like,
so-
there's
it's hard
just so
'cause
much
I-
more beard than they thought there would be.
So much beard.
Fair.
It's
Big
funny because
beard energy.
I was describing Lankermai's beard and I was just looking at Kent.
Me
It's
too.
long,
Me too.
lustrous
I
beard.
literally mouthed Kent.
Just
I was like,
just like describing Kent's beard.
Oh, it's so good.
I'm gonna miss it.
oh, yeah, he has to cut it for UPS.
Oh,
really?
Seriously?
Wow.
Why?
Just like shortening or?
I have to shorten it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Like,
it's
yeah.
not-
like you
you're
don't have
just
to
not
completely
gonna
get rid of
lose
it.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
no,
you
they got.
can't
I
get
think
They,
it's not
rid
like
of
you need to wear a gas mask or something that seals around your face. Why the fuck does UPS care if you have a beard?
because the CEO is a suit wearing, like, always
Nerd.
look your best.
Yeah. I hate those guys.
Got nothing fucking better to do than police other people's bodies.
Yeah.
Cool, dude.
Turd.
But
Yeah.
but the no, they got rid of that a couple of years ago, so I don't have to get rid
I'm
of it.
glad that
completely.
Teamsters just railed your company.
Yeah. Me too.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone, for joining us on this week's episode of DM's After Dark. And thank you, Christian, for surviving all of our fucking initiations.
Woo!
Us.
It's nothing but pure
The team
chaos
is
from here on out.
powered up.
Yeah, you're
Arrgh.
powered up. You're powered up just in time for me to fuck you all over.
Ready to wreck some shit
Yay.
Yep.
in the winter, in the freezing cold.
Chaos.
Freezing.
I would say too that let's just make an announcement. So next stream we'll have excuse me, I think we'll do just a Halloween one shot because I
Our
want a break from
traditional
DMing.
Halloween
I need a break
one-shots.
from DMing and GMing, I think, after this. So
all right.
I'd
We
like to
finished all.
just-
This is a good spot. We finished all the
Yeah.
initiations.
Yeah. So we'll do a Halloween one shot, then we'll pick up in November again. And probably by the end, well, I mean, with you guys, I don't know, but I would say end of the year, early next year, we'll be done with 6 seasons in Sartar.
Whoa.
Crazy. We don't have much time left.
Yeah, there's stuff left, but it's things pick up very quickly in pace.
Rapid
now.
acceleration toward the end.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I see.
Let's do it.
Fair.
Yeah.
All right.
So
If you are watching on Twitch and you are not followed, if you have an account, hit that follow button. Following is free. It just lets you know when we go live and lets us know that you like us. You really, really like us. We go live every other Friday at around 7 p.m. EST. And if we're running late, it's because technology hates us, to be honest.
or because of the blisses.
Or the blisses. Sometimes.
One bliss.
At a time.
There's only one.
Inferior bliss.
There's only one of you. That's why Troy's not here today. You lie to me.
Hey now.
Yeah.
If you missed parts of the stream and you want to catch up on it, the VOD of the stream will go up on our YouTube channel on Monday. And the podcast version will go out next Friday, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
You can catch us on all of the social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram under DMs After Dark. You can... Oh, what's up, Christian?
I just wanted to say before you finish where you can find us, I wanted to make something. Sharky asked a question I want to answer. So
Sure.
Go on. Yeah.
You can also email us at dmsafterdark@gmail.com with any questions, comments, ideas, thoughts, feelings, emotions. Did you cry a little? I cried a little.
I did. I cried a lot. Honestly, I was holding a lot back throughout that whole thing. I cried while I was writing it, and then I fucking cried while I was doing it. Yeah.
And you can find us on all of the podcast apps. It's DMs After Dark. That's where you'll find the audio-only versions of these streams, as well as all of our podcasts. Kent and Jess have a mini-series going at the moment. It's very good stuff, very exciting. So give a listen to that.
I even have one coming up soon. I did one on my lonesome. So Kent and Jess are doing
We're doing Tangled Blessings.
Tangled Blessings by Cassie Mothwin, and I got recently a Kickstarter for Cassie Mothwin's Carved by the Garden, which is like a folk horror solo game. And I did. Yeah, it's awesome. I'm totally going to play it again, but I did a solo playthrough of that, which came out really, really good.
And
so
I haven't gotten a physical copy in yet, but I have received my digital copy of Horse Girl. Which
you guys are productive and on top of things. That means I can continue to delay 1,000-Year-Old Vampire.
I will be putting some pedal to the metal, and hopefully in a couple months have my playthrough of Horse Girl ready to go, which I'm very excited about.
Wow.
Sweet.
But Christian, you want to go after?
A couple people in chat, specifically Sharky had asked, but a couple other people too had asked on other things too. Are we going to continue on the Company of the Dragon once we finish 6 seasons in Sartar? So the answer to that is yeah, we are, because I think it's like I'm falling in love with these characters and I'm not ready to leave them. So as long as everybody else agrees, we will. Probably we'll take a little bit of break and play like another short series of a game, maybe for a month or two, just so I get a break. But then we'll pick up Company of the Dragon.
A break from running for a little bit.
And I think with Company of the Dragon too, it's like it's a longer campaign than 6 seasons in Sartar, but there are breakpoints. So I think that's probably going to be the pattern too. Is like play to a certain point, take a break, play something else for a little bit, and then like pick it up again.
But yeah, there will absolutely be more RuneQuest coming.
Because I need to torture these guys, and every initiation has laid a seed for what's to come in Company of the Dragon, actually. All these gods and goddesses being like,
war's coming.
You're going to have to make horrible decisions. Oh, you're going to have to do this. There's a reason for that. So anyway.
So excited. Yeah. And Arisa's got a dragon orb in her pocket. Like,
right. I can't just leave you guys with that.
I wore that shirt today. Did you wear that shirt outside?
No. I just put it on before.
Is that the I'm Kent shirt?
Yes.
Amber, did you wear yours outside?
No, I wore it as a night shirt. I should wear that one. So Kent's is the one that says I'm Kent. Everybody else that says I'm just here to get Kent laid.
Oh, Kent, I love that so much.
Yeah, I also don't wear mine out.
Oh, it's so good.
I mean, I can wear mine out.
Yeah, yours
good.
Yeah, you can wear yours out.
Yeah.
Oh God!
If I ever find out you're wearing it out, I'm gonna wear mine out and find you.
Are there?
It's not great when it's just 2 people. Like you have like at least 3. Yeah,
it's true.
Any other announcements? Anything we want to cover before I wrap us up for the night?
I know that soon we'll make an announcement on. You're very welcome, Sharky. I'll make an announcement when it happens, but I think sometime this month we'll cross 10,000 downloads on a podcast, which is ridiculous.
That's so bonkers.
Because it means like I think we did like 8,000 just this year. Because we were at like 2,000 beginning of the year.
Exponential growth.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Stonks.
Keep telling your friends they're actually listening to you.
Stonks.
Oh my God. All right. Thank you everyone so much for watching. And until next time, have a little compassion for yourself.
Have compassion. It's what heals the world. Yes.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.